Hello friends, welcome to Whitey Books Readers. Today we're going to talk about the book Think Less, Do More by Peter Hollins. Many times we don't even start a task because we feel it has to be done perfectly. That thought traps us. We keep thinking, overthinking, and planning, but we don't take action. This state is called inertia or mental stagnation. The simplest way to break inertia is to lower your standards at the beginning. Think about learning a new skill like painting or playing the guitar. If you expect yourself to perform like a professional artist or musician on day one, you'll probably never start. You'll feel you're not good enough and stop yourself by thinking, what's the point until I'm perfect? But if you lower your standards and just draw a small doodle or try to play a simple tune, you'll actually begin. And once you begin, moving forward becomes much easier. The same thing happens with big tasks. When we think about them as a whole, they feel so heavy that we avoid them completely. For example, imagine you have to write a 10-page report. The moment you think, this has to be perfect, it starts feeling overwhelming, and procrastination kicks in. But if you tell yourself, I just need to write the first paragraph, no matter how bad it is, you can start. Our brain loves the finish line, but when it looks too far away, it gets scared. So the solution is simple: make the first step easy. If you want to start exercising, don't think you need to work out for 1 full hour every day. Just tell yourself you'll do 5 minutes of stretching. Once you're done stretching, you'll probably feel like doing a little more. Perfectionism often becomes the biggest enemy of progress. We assume we must be perfect at everything, but the truth is, perfection never comes instantly. It comes slowly through repeated effort. The first draft is always bad. The first attempt is always average. And the first step is always shaky. But if you accept this and give yourself permission to be average at the start, you can defeat inertia. Think about how a child learns to walk. Does the child start running without falling? No. The child falls, gets up, falls again, and slowly learns to walk. If the child decided, I won't try until I can walk without falling, they would never learn to walk at all. We need the same mindset. Sometimes we fear that lowering our standards will lead to poor quality work, but that's not true. Starting is the hardest part of any task. Once you make the beginning easy, the rest of the journey becomes easier too. When you start writing, you can edit later. When you start exercising, you can slowly build stamina. When you start a new business, you can improve it step by step. But if you keep thinking the beginning must be perfect, you may never begin at all. So next time you feel too much pressure to do something, lower your standards a little. Shrink your goal. Break the task into smaller pieces. And most importantly, don't burden yourself with the need to be perfect. You just need to start, no matter how small that start is. Once you're in motion, inertia disappears on its own. Many of us believe that we need motivation before taking action. We think, when I feel motivated, then I'll start. But the truth is completely opposite. Motivation is born from action. Even if you take the first step without motivation, you'll slowly start feeling motivated. When you begin doing something, you get involved in it, and your mind naturally pushes you to continue. Suppose you want to read a long book, but you don't feel like reading. You wait for the right mood. But if you simply read 2 pages, your brain slowly enters that process, and soon you'll feel like reading more. This applies to everything: exercise, studying, work, or learning a new skill. If you start, motivation will follow. The problem with motivation is that it's temporary. You might feel motivated after watching a video or listening to a speech, but that feeling doesn't last long. If you depend only on motivation, you'll feel lazy again in a few days. But if you build the habit of taking action, you can achieve your goals even without motivation. The best example is working out. Many people think they need to feel like exercising before going to the gym. But if they just start with 5 minutes of stretching, their body and mind slowly warm up, and then they feel like doing more. This principle applies everywhere. When you start acting, your energy shifts in that direction, and motivation is created naturally. You've probably experienced this yourself. Feeling extremely lazy before starting a task, but once you somehow started, you began enjoying it. That's because after taking action, your brain gets tuned to that direction. At the beginning of many tasks, we feel bored. But if we continue, the task slowly becomes interesting. This is a psychological fact. When we get involved in an activity, our mind starts working toward completing it. Another big benefit of taking action is that self-doubt and uncertainty begin to fade. When you only think about how hard something is, it feels even harder. But once you start doing it, you realize it wasn't as difficult as you imagined. Action can even change your self-image. If you believe you're a lazy person, you'll behave like one. But if you take just 5 minutes of action, you can create a new story about yourself. I'm someone who can act even without motivation, and that thought alone prepares you to do more. You can understand the action-motivation relationship like a cycle. When you take action, you get a small result. That result boosts your confidence, which pushes you to take more action. Slowly, motivation grows and real change begins. We often don't pay attention to the things that distract us, the things that stop us from staying focused. That's why we don't just need a to-do list, we also need a don't-do list. A don't-do list is a list of things you should actively avoid so your focus stays in the right place and you remain productive. Think about this. If the first thing you do after waking up is scroll through social media, a huge chunk of your time disappears. You tell yourself it'll be just 5 minutes, but when you check the clock again, 30 or 40 minutes are gone. The same thing happens when you constantly check emails throughout the day or react immediately to every small notification. Your energy gets wasted in the wrong places. A don't-do list helps you identify these habits so you can avoid the behaviors that drain your time and productivity. To create this list, first observe what distracts you during the day. Do you check your phone during every short break? Do you spend too much time in unnecessary meetings? Do you scroll social media without any plan? Write all of this down and put it on your don't-do list. This gives you clear awareness of what you need to avoid. The biggest benefit of a don't-do list is discipline. When you clearly know what not to do, it becomes much easier to focus on what truly matters. For example, if your list says, "I won't use social media before 10 a.m., then whenever you feel the urge to open Instagram or Twitter, the list reminds you that this isn't a priority. Over time, this turns into a habit, and your productivity starts improving. Many people believe success comes from working harder, but in reality, working smarter matters far more. When you use your time correctly instead of just staying busy, you can achieve more in less time. A don't-do list shows you which activities are simply wasting your time, so you can redirect your energy toward what really counts. You can also improve this list by updating it regularly. At first, you might think social media is your biggest distraction, but after a few weeks, you may realize unnecessary meetings are also eating up your time. In that case, you can add, "I won't attend meetings that have no clear purpose." Keep refining your list based on experience. Another important thing to understand is that a don't-do list isn't just about avoiding distractions. It also gives you emotional and mental clarity. Many times, we make decisions that aren't right for us simply because we have a habit of saying yes. If your list includes something like, "I won't say yes to commitments that don't align with my goals," it can save you from unnecessary obligations. If you're an entrepreneur, a writer, or anyone in a creative field, this list becomes even more powerful. Your most valuable asset is deep work, time when you're fully focused and producing your best output. Constant small distractions prevent you from ever reaching your full potential. A don't-do list gives you clarity about what to avoid so you can protect your most important work. This list isn't just useful professionally, it works in your personal life too. If you want to improve your health, your don't-do list might say, "I won't eat junk food after 11 p.m. If you want better mental health, you might add, "I won't spend time with people who drain my energy." In the end, deciding what not to do is just as important as deciding what to do. We all have the same 24 hours. When we learn to invest our energy in the right places, real change becomes possible. A simple don't-do list is an easy but powerful way to make your days better and more productive. If you follow it honestly, you'll notice improvements in your efficiency, focus, and overall happiness. Every day, we have many tasks to handle, some important, some not so important. But often, we get stuck in less meaningful work, while the things that truly matter get pushed aside. This happens because we fail to set our priorities correctly. That's where the burner list comes in. A burner list helps you separate your most important tasks from the less important ones so your attention and energy go in the right direction. The idea is simple. Divide your tasks into two categories, front burner and back burner. Front burner tasks are your top priorities. These are the tasks that directly move you toward your biggest goals. Back burner tasks are important too, but they don't need immediate attention. They can be done later. Imagine a chef in a kitchen. Some dishes are cooking on high heat and need constant attention. This is the front burner. Other dishes are simmering slowly and can be checked later. This is the back burner. When you organize your life this way, you stop spreading your energy everywhere. If you're working on a major project, that goes on the front burner. Learning a new skill or exploring a new idea can stay on the back burner for now. This doesn't mean back burner tasks are useless. It just means they don't need top priority right now. This approach prevents distraction and keeps you focused on what matters most. One of the biggest benefits of a burner list is easier decision-making. Whenever a new task comes up, you can quickly decide which burner it belongs to. This keeps your mind clear and prevents mental clutter. Another major benefit is that it protects you from multitasking. When you try to do many things at once, nothing gets done properly. But when you know what's on the front burner, you can give it your full attention and handle everything else later. To make the burner list more effective, review it weekly or monthly. Priorities change over time. Something on the back burner today might need to move to the front burner later. Updating the list keeps it relevant. This system not only boosts productivity but also gives mental clarity. Your mind isn't constantly stressed about what to do next. You can even use this method in daily life. For example, if fitness is important to you, put it on the front burner. Reading a new book can stay on the back burner for now. In professional life, entrepreneurs with many ideas can use a burner list to decide which idea deserves immediate focus. The real power of the burner list is discipline. It teaches you that not every task is equally important. When you know what to prioritize and what to temporarily set aside, both your productivity and success increase. Every day, we also make countless decisions, some small, some big. Often, we overthink even tiny decisions so much that our mind gets exhausted, leaving no energy for important choices. This is called overanalysis, and it kills both productivity and confidence. The solution is adopting a superstructured decision model. This is a structured way to make faster, better decisions without getting stuck in endless thinking. Imagine having to decide every day what to wear, what to eat, or which email to reply to first. Your brain would get drained by these small decisions alone. That's why many successful people simplify daily choices. Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg famously wore similar clothes every day to avoid unnecessary decisions. A superstructured decision model means having predefined systems that guide how you make choices. This saves mental energy and keeps your decisions aligned with your goals. The first step is automation. Decide which decisions can be automated. For example, instead of deciding daily whether to go to the gym, fix certain days in advance, no debate needed. The second step is setting decision criteria. For big decisions, have predefined questions like, does this align with my long-term goals? Does this use my time and energy wisely? What's the worst possible outcome if this goes wrong? These filters help you choose quickly and confidently. The third step is learning from past decisions. Analyze what went wrong before and how you can avoid the same mistake next time. This strengthens your decision-making ability. This model increases speed, clarity, and reduces stress. When you follow a system instead of constantly thinking, your mind stays calmer and more focused. You can apply this in professional life by categorizing tasks: urgent, important but not urgent, and completely avoidable. In personal life, you can pre-plan weekends or routines so you're not deciding everything from scratch. Finally, our body works on natural cycles called Ultradian Rhythms. These rhythms control our energy levels throughout the day. This isn't time management, it's energy management. When you start working with your Ultradian Rhythms, you'll notice you're getting more done with less effort, and your mind feels fresher and more focused. So friends, that was today's book summary. Let me know in the comments how you liked it, and thank you for listening till the end.